Stefan Garris, and I don't know where Stefan is located, but he writes to me and he says, "Hey Paul, the last ice age saw about 25% of the Earth's landmass covered in ice. If the Eemians had an advanced civilization and technology, as you suggest in your new book, would they not have moved away from areas that were getting covered by glaciers? Would they not have taken their civilization and technology with them? We could have found some clues of this in areas that would have a temperate climate during the last ice age. Admittedly, seawater levels were about 400 meters lower during the last ice age. So if the Eemians would have moved to seaside resorts during the ice age, we would have to look for traces at quite inaccessible places today. But not all of humanity would have chosen that path. I'd love to learn more. Good luck with your trilogy. I'm anxious to read it." Well, thank you so much. Again, this is all speculation, but let me give you a little because I've studied this for a long time and tried to make some conclusions that make sense. First off, yes, over time that would have happened, but in the Eemians, in at least the story, and in the way that I would view how this all happened, the Ice Age came well after the collapse of their Eemian society, okay? So if you look at the Milankovitch cycle, which makes the Earth turn into glaciers for 100,000 or so years, ooh, that sun is bright. Good choice of spots. I'll sit over here. How's that? Yeah, there you go. So the Milankovitch cycles. So there's a 20,000 or so, 30,000 year period of warming, followed by a 100,000 year period of glaciers. So what we know that during the Eemian interglacial period, that's the warming period, Homo sapiens, people like you and me, were definitely in abundance. We know that near the end of their warming period, everything got really hot. And that's when Greenland melted, half of Antarctica melted, and then about 10,000 years or so after that, things cooled down and the glaciers came. So if I'm right, the Eemians were responsible for the increase in greenhouse gases, just like we are responsible for the increase in greenhouse gases today. And if that's all true, and again, it's just me speculating and churning out a very interesting story, but let's imagine for a moment it's true. Well, then their civilization would have gone through a disastrous period by the warming, not by the glaciers. Because here's what we also know. As the glaciers came, populations of Homo sapiens and even Neanderthals, who the last one we saw was about 70,000 years ago, they diminished greatly in numbers and they became hunter-gatherers again. So my speculation is the modern society created the greenhouse gases that made the Eemian warming period go nuts. Seas rose. And when that happens, you're going to have massive famines. Agriculture isn't going to work in most places. So if they were leaving and going anywhere, they would have gone to colder temperatures, not warmer temperatures, to escape the heat. And that's about all I can guess. So yeah, I get where you're going. I think your timing is just a little bit off, but all right, fun. Hey, if you have a question, go to Eemians.com, EEMIANS.com, and fill out the little form, and I'll answer it on YouTube for you. All right. And if you want a free copy of the book, I may be able to even do Audible copies, because I'm searching for a great narrator. So if you have any suggestions of somebody you really like as a book narrator, drop me a line. I would really appreciate it. Okay. Thanks. Bye.